The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
The content heard on the Ask Dr. Tommy O Show is for informational or educational purposes only and does not substitute professional medical advice or consultation with healthcare professionals.
Hi, this is Dr. Thomas O'Brien. For almost 25 years, I specialize in offering families an affordable concierge service to avoid paying costly medical insurance or unreachable deductibles without giving up premium health care. As an osteopath, I offer osteopathic adjustments alongside medical examinations. Also, I offer discounts to military and first responders. I am now accepting no-fault patients, which include osteopathic adjustments, medical treatments, and prescription services, including medical marijuana. At my practice, my patients never pay copays and still receive the most personal and complete medical care. I have spent my career devoted to providing healthcare at affordable prices. Everybody should have a relationship with their physician. I work for you and your family. The honor and privilege is mine. If you have been in an automobile accident, please call my office at 631-980-8200 for an immediate appointment. To learn more about me and my practice, visit drtomio.com. Again, I am accepting no-fault patients. Call my office for an immediate appointment, 631-980-8200. Welcome to the Ask Dr. Tommy O Show. I'm your host, Dr. Thomas O'Brien. The Ask Dr. Tommy O Show can be heard every Wednesday at 4 p.m. on 103.9 LI News Radio. I offer a very affordable concierge practice at the price of less than the cost of a monthly cell phone bill, which allows you access to the quality care you really deserve. With no rush office visits, both you and I can discuss your healthcare needs. To learn more about my practice, go to drtomio.com, that's drtomio.com, or give me a call at 631-980-8200, 631-980-8200. If you wait, it may be too late. To my military family, I got your six. To my Masonic brothers, the light is bright. Today's topic, no-fault legal representation. Over the past 4 weeks, I announced that I'm going to be taking no-fault patients, and I said I'm going to be working with some of the top no-fault personal injury attorneys in our community. Well, today, we are lucky. We are live, and I have one of those firms here with me in the studio, which we're going to represent the Ask Dr. Tommy O Show. So I'd like to introduce Kenneth Auerbach and Amanda Spinner of Carrier, Bernstein, Auerbach, and Steinberg PC, and host of the No Fault of Your Own on 103.9 Long Island News Radio, heard every Monday from 4 to 5 p.m. Ken and Amanda, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tommy. I love to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure. I always say that, we want to work with a team that has the same business and family values, and I place an emphasis on both of those because based on how we work and we work together and conversations, that's so vital in both of our lives.
Yeah, well, it's really important, I think, that when the attorneys care about the patients and the doctors also care about the patients, I think ultimately that gets you to the best result.
Definitely, yeah. You want a whole team of caring individuals.
Exactly. It's a comprehensive approach, a holistic approach, and we both can appreciate the mind, body, spirit, or mind, body, soul. You must have all three aspects to have a whole. If you believe in the Trinity, that's like the mind, body, spirit, mind, body, soul, and we can go into all that. But without those, my perspective is you need all three. If you're lacking one, you're just not going to get the job done.
Recently, I have to tell you, there's a couple of my clients that actually started treating with you. And really their comment was that it's different in your office. That what they were surprised about was the amount of time that you took actually going over their issues, listening to them. A lot of times the problems is that the doctor or the medical provider is not listening. And what they said to me was very distinctly that they couldn't believe the amount of time that you took, listening to them, assessing them, diagnosing them, and clearly, obviously, caring about them. And ultimately, I always say to the clients, we do personal injury law, that it's about you getting better first, and really the case is a secondary thing. And if the doctors that are treating them aren't doing like what you're doing and taking that time, it really isn't good. You agree, Amanda?
100%. And I think also, you know, on our side in dealing with the legal end, it's a lot easier to deal with a doctor that, you know, has the same values and ideals as us and can get, you know, the patient in for a consultation, can really get the patient on the right track. So
Right. Well, that's important. You know, it's a comprehensive approach. It's just not a 5-minute visit. If you want that, I say, when I do my exams, a lot of times they would say, wow, I've never had this exam. I said, well, this is a physical. I've been doing this for almost 32 years, the same exact exam. I said, if you want the cheap exam, go to the doctor across the street. And they all giggle. I said, no, this is, if you're under my care, we're going to do it right. It's done right or it's not done at all. And I said, we're going to do things right. You're going to feel good about it. I'm going to listen to you. And you know, I have my introduction was really abbreviated today because I wanted to spend more time. But I always say I look, listen, and feel. I look at the patient. Okay, I'm looking for their energy level because this is what they teach us in psychiatry. I'm looking for that the force, the amplitude, the velocity behind what they're saying, because then I know if they're being honest or not. And that's how people, you know, the FBI and CIA, when they start to interview people or those trained that way, they can see if someone's being honest or not. I'm also looking at the body language. Are they focusing eye contact, or they're looking off into the, you know, the ceiling, or, you know, drifting off and they don't want to make contact because then I know they're hiding something. But I'm also feeling them physically and emotionally, which is so big a component. If a patient needs a hug, I'll give him a hug. I had, because I was dealing with patients that have cancer, men, and I would tell them, stand up. And I stand up and say, give me a hug. You know, and they look, what? I said, give me a hug. And I give them a big hug. I said, come on, give me a real hug. You know, it's a guy to a guy. And they're like, oh, doc, I really needed that. And that's so important because it was lacking. And in medicine today, it's lacking.
Yeah, I definitely see that. I've been doing personal injury law now for 34, going on 35 years. And one of the things that I really have an issue with is when patients are just all kind of looked at the same. You know, it's sort of the individual aspects of what their injuries are, what their problems are. It sort of goes out the window, and they sort of have this checklist. They're going down this checklist. Well, you know what? Not everybody fits that checklist. And there are times when there's an area where you need to be taking more time on a particular area, not just going down the checklist to see if it is or isn't there. And so one of the areas that really are problematical for us as attorneys, when our clients choose doctors that really aren't taking the time. They're not assessing it. They're not assessing their patient because they're really kind of just getting ready for the next patient.
Right.
And, you know, we don't practice our law practice that way. I tell all of our clients we do a tremendous amount of personal injury law in all different areas, including motor vehicle accidents and no-fault stuff. I know, Dr. Tommy O, that you started taking those, which I was really glad to hear about that, because we always need good doctors. In fact, you know, I was saying to you originally that there's not a lot of osteopaths out here, and particularly out in this area. And what's great about it is that you have a perspective from a medical doctor, but also you understand holistic healing and healing, that you're not just limiting yourself. So to me, that's just sort of critical. And how are we going to get these people better? You know, if you're a lawyer, you're just interested in getting to the money. I always tell people, you know, that's not really my firm. My firm isn't only worried about the money. I'm worried about you first. And Amanda is the same way. We try to let our clients know that each one of them is important to us, and we want to try to get you to the place where you're making sure that you're taking care of your medical treatment first and your medical situation, get better, and then we'll take good care of you, and we'll fight real hard for you and get you the right kind of compensation, or at least fight to try to get there. And we'll give it everything we have, but it's not good enough for us just to make money, and yet you're not tracking and going to good doctors. So that's why we appreciate that you really are in this area, and it's really a wonderful thing that you're now doing no fault.
Right. Well, I appreciate that compliment. But we basically have the same business model. It's medicine versus law, but our approach is the same. I want to provide. It's not cookie cutter. It's individualized based on the needs of the patient. We're all involved in car accident, but it's a different type of car accident. We all respond differently. We have different stresses, different injuries, so the approach is going to be different. We have to cater to the needs of the individual. All right, so we have 1 minute left. So if one of my listeners involved in a car accident and they need your services.
So you can contact us at 631-654-4900, or you can find us on the web at myinjuryli.com.
And what else? Mondays.
Oh, yep. So every Monday we have our show from No Fault of Your Own on LI News Radio 103.9 from 4 to 5 p.m.
That's right. Well, this was great. This part one, it goes so quick. I know you have an hour show. I'm not there yet, so my show's a half hour, 20 minutes, 2 10-minute segments. All right, so we have about 20 seconds left. So if you're looking for a physician, primary care, family medicine, or if you're involved in a car accident, give my office a call. To learn more about my practice, go to drtomio.com. That's drtomio.com, or call my office at 631-980-8200, 631-980-8200. Welcome back to the Dr. Tomio Show. I'm your host, Dr. Thomas O'Brien. Today's topic, no fault legal representation. I am here with Kenneth Auerbach and Amanda Spinner of Carrier, Bernstein, Auerbach, and Steinberg PC. To hear No Fault of Your Own, we're going to listen on 103.9 Long Island News, Mondays between 4 and 5 p.m. It's a live show, so listen, call in, and you're going to learn more about no fault injuries and legal representation. So welcome back to part 2.
Hello. Happy to be here.
Yeah, it is. It's great to be here.
All right, so where are you guys located? Where's the farm?
So we're located in Patchogue. We're right off of 83. Mm-hmm. I'm sure everyone knows.
100 Austin Street in Patchogue.
Yeah, so you can see it on the service road when you're looking south there. You can see the building.
Yes.
You can. We've been there a long time. We've been in Patchogue really forever. We do see clients, though, all over. We see them in Nassau, Suffolk County, the 5 boroughs. We'll come to you. We'll come to a medical facility. We'll come after hours. We really always want to make it easier for our clients. Sometimes they're hurt. They're really hurt, right. And or elderly or infirm, whatever. We want to make it as easy for them as possible. Right. So we're there for you.
Right. Well, that's why I've been saying, the past 4 weeks, I said, I'm working with the best in the business. And for those who can't find a lawyer, I said, call my office and I will help get you a lawyer because it's so important that having that legal representation. So let's just get how important it is to have legal representation if you're involved in a motor vehicle accident.
I think it's critical. I can say that most people have really never gone through this before, so they really don't understand that there are time limits and requirements that you have to file certain forms. Like you have to file a no-fault application basically within 30 days. That's the application for the vehicle that you're in to cover your medical expenses. And if you don't file it in 30 days, the insurance company takes the position you're not getting medical benefits paid. Right. And so most people don't know that.
And importantly, that no-fault benefit can cover you for up to $50,000. So It's not a small amount, especially if you're significantly hurt. You definitely need to make sure you file that, and you need to make sure you got to an attorney as soon as possible after your accident, because like you said, every person is different, every accident is different, but there's a lot of critical things going on in the immediate aftermath of the accident that we need access to.
Absolutely.
Right, and by doing that, we have the ability to go ahead and direct our clients in a way that they're going to be protected. The insurance companies are not out there to protect our clients. They're not out there to protect people who are hurt. It's just reality, right. Okay? And one of the things that we've been harping on our show is that what's been going on, we're seeing it more often now. The insurance companies now go out, they try to get to someone who's been injured in an accident, try to get to them really quickly, and they talk to them sometimes about their property damage, and then they morph and go right over into the, well, do you have bodily injury? And they try, many of these insurance companies, to get them to sign a release. And those releases can be binding. They are binding. And people don't realize that. And I've had several people, it's getting worse. It really is. And that's the reason you got to call us, pick up the phone. You know, even if you're not seriously hurt, there's no downside. We're not going to charge you for being on the phone with us. Right. And a lot of times, too, is we get to ask the question, well, what's bothering you? And then they'll say something's bothering them. And we want to make sure, hey, listen, this is a human being. We want you to get to some good medical care. You know, and so, Dr. Tommy, you know, when, you know, someone's hurt and you know they're hurt, you want to get them out of pain. But the bottom line is people just don't understand. They don't know. Some people have no idea about NOFL. What is that? They have no idea how that works. So, you know, we just think it's really important to call us, and we're going to direct you in the right way. You know, and it's our intention really to help you from beginning to end. And I know you were saying that that's similar to your practice, and I believe that because I've seen it with people, some of my clients that have gone to your practice. I've seen it where they've said, this is different. This is different. I had one mother who brought her daughter there, and was very, very nervous about her daughter treating, and you made us feel so good, so comfortable, and it was clear that you were caring about that child and that young lady.
Right, absolutely. I know the patient comes in by herself now. You know, at the very beginning, you know, mom was there.
Yeah.
You know, the patient is you know, an adult, but mom was there and very, very nervous, and I was able to settle her down. And you know, the mom was very impressed, and I hate to, you know, toot my own horn, but the reality is you're comparing me to a previous physician who wasn't even a physician. I hate to say, I was a chiropractor, a doctor, not a medical doctor, and just didn't like the treatment and how it felt after. They felt more pain after the treatment, and when I started, you know, treating with osteopathic manipulation, you can see the difference right away. And she's like, this is it. Mom's like, we're happy that we're here now, and we're so glad that we were referred here. You know, we got, you know, I said, we're going to get a nice team. We're going to work together for you. We're going to fight hard for you and your rights. And so we're on the right track with this patient.
Yeah, I mean, I see different, obviously many different people, many different problems. And, you know, there's not one type of practice that fits everybody, you know, and there's some amazing chiropractors. I mean, just amazing. They've gotten people out of pain, and there's some amazing osteopaths. But then again, there are people that, for whatever reasons, it's just not really helping that person. And so I always say is, you know, you got to see what that type of doctor is. What is that doctor? First and foremost, did they take time with you, and are they listening? Because medical care, right, it's not just one way. Right? You need to know what this person's experiencing, because sometimes, you know, you can't see pain. Maybe if someone's grimacing, okay, you can see some evidence that someone's in some type of spasm, but you don't know the extent of their pain. Right? And so if you're not listening, then how are you going to treat them? Right.
Well, that's in today's practice, you know, because of the way it's set up, you have 5 minutes. You don't know the patient in 5 minutes, and your back is to the patient, and they're typing up, click, 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 click on the keyboard, and the patients say, well, are you paying attention to me? Did you hear what I say? Well, no, if you're focusing on the keyboard, you know, what you're typing, you're not listening. You really don't, and I'm not interested in that. I stand there, I'm listening to the patients, and then I take my notes after. You know, I just jot down some bullets, and then I'll put it together after, because I need to spend that quality time. I tell my patients the first visit, the initial 1 hour, not 5 minutes, 1 hour, and sometimes it's a little bit more. When I say 1 hour, I tell them 60 minutes. 60 minutes you're going to be with me. And when I come in, I said, well, what time is it now? It's an hour later, right? Thorough exam? Absolutely. And I have my little meters, and you know, that I use. And I said, we'll talk about independent medical exams. And I said, this is something very important. If you go for an independent medical exam, that's a physician that works for an insurance company, and their job is basically to shut down the case, to say that you're not as injured and you don't need future treatment or to continue your treatment. So I said, 1, I want you to document how much time, face-to-face time. 2, did they examine you? Did they touch you? 3, and were they using a meter? And then, if not, you're going to tell me as well as your lawyer, so we can document that. Okay, so we know what's going on. So So we have about an hour, really, a minute and a half. Wish we had an hour. So we have about a minute and a half left. So what we'd like to do is, again, listeners, if they need your services, my listeners, they were involved in a car accident or other personal injury, slip and fall.
We do everything.
Right. So
we do pretty much everything. So if you want to get us, call us at 631-654-4900. It's 631-654-4900. Get us on the web, myinjuryli.com. It's myinjuryli.com. And we're really always there for you. We'd love to talk to you, love to try to help you out. And really, it's our privilege to try to help you.
Absolutely. You know, we were given a gift, and it's the gift that we're giving back to the community. Not everyone was blessed to be able to have the opportunity to go to law school, to go to medical school. It was a gift, and so now we're able to return that gift to the community. We pay it forward by helping the community and get them back on track so their quality of life is improved.
No doubt whatsoever.
All right. So we got Amanda, any closing? We got 30 seconds.
Well, you could always listen to our past radio shows. We have a lot of information about slip and falls, medical malpractice, no fault. So you can see us on the web at myinjuryli.com.
Excellent. Oh, I want to thank both of you for being on my show today.
Thank
If you want
you.
to go see a great doctor, honestly, what Dr. Tommy O is telling you is true. It really is, because my clients have gone there and they've come back and told me that, and I had to see for myself, and I've seen it.
There you go. All right, we're down to 3 seconds. Okay, well, we had a wonderful show. Thank you.
Thank you.
The content heard on the Ask Dr. Tommy O show is for informational or educational purposes only and does not substitute professional medical advice or consultation with healthcare professionals.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.